So they get Micah Parsons. Let's talk first about that pick. I didn't think it was a buzzkill. I think they wanted a corner. I don't think they looked and thought we need a linebacker, or do they, based on, Leighton's injuries?
I thought at first it was disastrous to watch those two cornerbacks come off the board. They obviously wanted one. Everybody thought it was going their way because you got the quarterbacks, you got all the offensive players being taken, and then boom, boom, Carolina doesn't work with you. Denver doesn't work with you. And so they had to bail out of that next pick. So I thought their fallback position, kind of like you, was okay. The only thing I would say is, they keep drafting the same position. I mean, Van Der Esch is borderline. Like, there might be tomorrow, they might decide not to even exercise his fifth-year option. So you're talking about Jalen Smith, you're talking about Van Der Esch, you're talking about picks, premium picks that they're missing on. And so some of these linebackers, and I know you don't really like it when I go like fourth-round picks, but Jabril Cox, the guy from LSU, they need him, and they need Micah Parsons to be ready to start alongside Keanu Neal, because next year, LVE, the man that they call the Wolf Hunter, will probably be gone, Van Der Esch. And then Jalen Smith, a man who celebrates every tackle. I mean, it could be 20 yards downfield. The man loves a good celebration. But they could be gone next season. So to me, he's a good player. Okay. I do find it funny that the other day at their pre-draft conference, they say anybody who opts out of the COVID year, which was this past season, we see as a compromised candidate. We view them as compromised if they opted out and didn't play. And then when they got the chance, they grabbed Micah Parsons, a man who opted out last season.
When your defense is bad, you need to get rid of the coordinator. They did. But you also just need athletes. So to me, Micah Parsons, I just want him on the field. He's just too damn good not to be on the field somewhere.
He's great. My only thing is they keep missing on this position, so that's why they had to go back to it. I think he'll be really good. I think his athleticism is crazy. He's off-ball linebacker who's going to go sideline to sideline. It's what they hoped Van Der Esch was. It's kind of what they hoped Jalen Smith was. And so they've got that taken care of. The part that gives me the most worry about the Cowboys, Colin, is I don't know if they found a starting cornerback. I'm not convinced that Kelvin Joseph, their second round pick, I'm just saying they went back to old school Jerry Jones. Yeah, well, okay, he had some issues. Colin, if you're a great player and you have great instincts and you're a hitter and you're like this Kelvin Joseph is, and they can't keep you at LSU, what does that tell you? I mean, that's like major red flag. I mean, the Honey Badger came back and made his career. He basically got kicked out of there. I'm just saying, if you get kicked out of LSU or whatever happened to him, he decides to leave and go to Kentucky, there are major red flags. So what I'm saying is, what would give me the most worry about the Cowboys draft, other than in the third round, they started apparently reaching like crazy. And we could talk about that a little bit. But I don't know that they got a starting cornerback. And everybody else just has – everybody else around here, it's like they got Kelvin Joseph jerseys. It's like, okay, he's opposite of Diggs now. We'll put the 6'4" kid in there with him. He'll play like the slot or something. And it's a Legion of Boom again. And that's this is Dallas. This is the quintessential Cowboys draft. A lot of flash and dash, but to me, a lot of worry.
So I look at the Cowboys draft and I think, I don't know what they got. There's some red flags, guys, but it's length and it's athleticism. Can we say that? It's a long athletic class.
I love it. I'm a big wingspan guy as well. I'm saying, do you know a lot of great 6'4" corners around this league? Can we point back? There aren't any. The great ones are like 6 foot 200 or 6'1", 200. Now that is the size of Kelvin Joseph. I'm just telling you, and I can't make this point enough with you. As I talk to people around the league, it's like, I would say this. Okay, here's how I'll explain this without saying too much. The relaxed rules on weed in the NFL has changed the way people draft. Okay? I do think that has happened. And I think we saw that maybe in the second round, some guys you would have let roll on down the board. You're like, you know what? They got a few strikes. They got several strikes before they're. It's not like Josh Gordon takes one puff and they're like, "You're out of here forever. We don't want to see you again. Go to Canada and play." I mean, I think that has changed some things, but I'm just saying, between these two corners, I'm not convinced they have a starter. Now, all the Link stuff, you're right. You're right. The Golston kid, I mean, there's some interesting players. It just gives me pause when the people that do this, even more than we do, you and I love to look at film, we crunch the numbers, all of that. But even people, they looked at these guys and they're like, whoa, this third round, we had them in the 6th or 7th. So I would say this, and I've heard this from more than one GM. The kid they took it in the 3rd round, Nashawn Wright, the
Oregon State, yeah.
Oregon State. Like, you like his reach because he's 6'4"? He's one of the biggest reaches in Cowboys history as far as where they took him. I mean, literally, people are like across the league are sending me, what? I mean, all the exclamation marks, all the question marks. So maybe he'll be great. But I think sometimes you can get too into, like this Dan Quinn or Pete or whatever. You know all these people. You can get so far into body types that you're like, are they going to get burned? Are they going to fall in a double move? What's going to happen to them? So, Earl Thomas was not that tall. He was not. I mean, he was a great player. He wasn't one of those huge, lengthy guys. That's the guy that everybody around here has wanted for like the last 5 years. I don't see any Earl Thomases in this draft they just brought in.
Jerry's involvement on this. I do think he's sort of handed it over. I said before the draft, I said, Dallas is going to have to go against its nature. Go be boring. Get a guard. What you're saying is you're not sure if they got competent. But what is Jerry's involvement in your opinion? If I said 1 to 10, 10 he's locked in, 1 he's got a tumbler and he's just watching, having fun, and making sure he talks on TV. Where is he at?
Well, when the pick is made, it rises up there to about an 8 or 9. Okay, he's ready to get involved, and boy, he loves to listen. And he loves to repeat things that he's heard. I hear words. I've been around Jerry for so long that I can hear him say a sentence and go, that came from Parcells. I know what came even from like Chan Gailey back in the day. That's a little bit before my time. But I know where all this stuff comes from. So when the pick is made, it's kind of like when the parade's coming by, Jerry wants to be up at the front. Now, all the gathering, the Will McClay, Stephen and Jerry kind of show up. They listen. They get involved. They're on all the interviews. They really are. One thing Jerry does, he loves those interviews. And like that 6th-round pick they got from South Carolina that started crying a bunch. I don't know if you've seen that one. I mean, that one's like, whoa. I mean, that'll blow you away. I mean, that kid may get a 10-year contract just because of that performance. Jerry loves that stuff. Okay, he loves drama. So to answer that, I would just say in the weeks leading up to it, about a 5 or 6. Likes to be on the interviews, loves to hear the things. And I would say both those cornerbacks, they were very, very comfortable taking. They were just so ready for Horn. But they did – that's the thing about this draft. They didn't get like great character people, or they had – I'll say this. Later in the draft they did. Okay, I don't want to indict everybody. But they got – still in the 4th round, they're picking guys like domestic violence incidents. I mean, this is a team that went from Jason Garrett, Boy Scout. So all I'm saying is this. Here's where Jerry comes in and gets to a 9 or a 10 is when there is a redemption story. That's gets his attention, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, oh, wait, this guy has some checkered past because Jerry loves all that stuff. Oh, this guy has some stuff on his record and all that kind of stuff. So I would say Jerry – down the stretch, when they're getting ready to make a pick, he's way, way involved.
This morning, Philadelphia's last place. I think Nick Sirianni's laughable as a hire. He is marginally – I'm not sure he's a coordinator in the NFL. Philadelphia's last. Give me the rundown of the division. I'd go Washington first, Philly last, and then I think the Giants and the Cowboys battle for a wild card spot potentially. Your thoughts? Well –
I think I don't know. This guy is a weirdo. It seems like when I see him talk, the new coach at the Eagles. So I kind of agree with you there. The quarterback thing, I probably, and maybe it's because I've watched so much Big 12, And I think that guy is a huge winner. Like, he's a guy that likes to carry people, and suddenly he has a weapon, is a big-time weapon with him that he knows a little bit. So I would say the Eagles I have a little higher than you do. I might even sneak the Eagles up into the 2 spot. I really would. And the Giants, here's the thing. I don't like the Giants quarterback. They're stuck with this guy seemingly forever. And everybody's like, oh, Danny Dimes or whatever. Yeah, this is a weird. I mean, I think he's third. I think the Giants are third, and Redskins third, and the Giants fourth. Now, who does that leave? Oh my goodness, the Dallas Cowboys. And what it leaves us with is another rough division. Another division. Now, what the Cowboys are hoping, every year it's, if nobody gets hurt, we could have greatness. And then, of course, all the offensive linemen get hurt and everything goes to hell. I would just say they got faster, they got some speed, but I'm telling you, Colin, I've looked at these things before. When you are counting on 3rd round and 4th round players being starters right away, it works for some franchises. It doesn't always work for these guys. And that's what they were trying to do. I mean, they're literally needing, and you know what they're telling you, what Steven and Jerry are telling you is, we don't have the money. We just signed this quarterback, and you do a great job of talking about contract stuff. You understand all that. They just put a huge amount of money in one position, and what they said leading into this draft, almost like an NBA team or something, we got to hit on all of these guys, and this is the future of our defense. So who do they have? Like, who's their big stud on defense? Tank Lawrence. And then name me another one. You got to have it be Parsons. Suddenly, you need your number 12 overall pick to be your second best defensive player. Who's the leader? Van Der Esch can't stay healthy. Jalen Smith is just he's not very good. Who is your leader? Other than you got Tank Lawrence, you got everybody kind of either retiring or heading out. This is a rough. So this is, and you've said it before, this is a team that needs to go out and score 35 and 40 points a game.
Yeah. Listen, somebody always wins a bad division. The good news today is Dallas has absolutely got more than a puncher's chance to win the worst division in football. That's what it feels like to me, I guess. Maybe I'm Mr. Optimism. They call me Mr. Optimism around Fox, That's my nickname. Mr. Optimism.